Okay, a 64-year-old female is pre-op and NPO. So she's NPO, so we know she needs an IV, what they tell us anyway. So she requires an IV, and she has a petechial rash. Okay, so a petechial rash, we'd need the blue top tube for that. And then she needs an IV antibiotic, and then she needs an IV lifeline. Okay? Alright, so let's make sure we have everything ready before we start. So we have our alcohol pad, and we have our 2x2. Well, this looks like a trick too. I'd much rather use an 18 than a 22, right? This is going to always move more volume than that. Okay? This we don't need. Well, by now we'd have to have the little adapter out. So we have our adapter, and we get that ready. And we'll say that's our blue top tube. This we don't need. And we want to get our hep block ready. Oh, joy! They've made flushes for me. That's great. So we'll flush this all out. That's ready to go. Great. We'll keep that blue cap up because we know already we need a lifeline later. Okay. And then we have that. Then we check our IV bags, and I just want to make sure there's no air bubbles in them at all, just to make sure. There's a few air bubbles in there that we want to get out. Okay. Then we'll need our piggyback later, so we might as well make sure that all the air bubbles are out of that one too. Okay, that one looks pretty good. And this we're going to put out so it's close by, and we'll make sure the cap is loose. And there's a couple pieces of tape, but we'll put a few more pieces of tape down just in case. Okay, great. Then we put our tourniquet on, and we're going to scrub it off in a circular fashion and let the alcohol dry, and keep our 2x2 close by over there. We like to hold the catheter with one finger on the catheter and one on the needle. And then the thumb over top can control right or left or up or down, either direction like that. Okay? And you have to hold traction. If the vein is deep, hold over the vein. If the vein is shallow, hold right next to the vein. You always check the bevel and make sure that the bevel is up. And then you warn the patient. Okay, patient, a little stick. And if you don't feel anything, if you're not getting anything, you have to hold traction. And this guy is actually a little bit deep, so we draw back and increase our angle slightly. And then once we know that we're in the right position, then we can go ahead and advance the catheter. One of the problems that's happened a lot is as people are advancing the catheter, they're pulling the needle out. Okay, so that's one thing that you always want to avoid. This hand has to stay completely still. So we'll just backtrack for a minute. We're holding our traction. We have the thumb on the side. Bevel is up. Warn the patient. Here comes a little stick. Look for our flashback. Hold the needle and make sure the needle doesn't move. And slide the catheter in. Remember the length of the catheter. You're going to follow that length down and hold pressure there. Usually with your ring finger. That gives your other two fingers a chance to move. And get the needle out. And then you're going to get your blood. And then once that's on, you can let go with your finger. And this is a blue top tube, right? Petechial rash, we want to... actually, no, we did the right thing. We have a petechial rash, we want platelet count, right? So we got our platelet count for petechial rash. She's probably less than 50,000. Now, see how close I put the tourniquet? It's like right next to me, so I'll definitely have to remember to get rid of it. So we take the tourniquet off, put pressure back here, twist this off. Now we're going to put our hep block in, twist this on, let go. We always want to make sure that the hep block is that the IV is still working. So we draw back, make sure we have blood, and then we'll give a little bit of the flush, and we'll move this down this way. Okay, and we're going to take a little piece of tape, and you want to tape only the catheter, because if the hep lock has to come out later, you'll want to make sure that you're able to do that. And this slides underneath. That way you have it on taped number 1. I'm going to put a lot of effort into this IV catheter. We're going to tape it on one more time, just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. The hep lock also has to be taped in, and by convention that's always pointing towards the patient. So we're going to put a piece of tape on this way as well. Okay, and this thing is off. I'm going to take our flush off, and now we're going to put our IV in. You need at least 100 cc's an hour, as you remember, but when we're working with our drip chamber, it's either opened up all the way or at KVO. And since she obviously doesn't need KVO, we'll just open it up all the way that way. Come on, drip, baby. Drip. And we'll just double check ourselves. Yep, and we have to open up our little valve there, and then it will start to drip. Let's look. Okay, now she needs the IV antibiotic. So we have our IV antibiotic already hung and ready to go. I'm just going to turn this off because the arm loves to fill up with fluid. And let's see what we have to make a connection. Well, we have the needle out. So we're going to take this blue piece off, screw the needle in. This has been out and open and it's dirty. So we take our alcohol pad and we scrub that off. Take this needle and go straight through the center without poking ourselves. Tape this little guy on. And then we'll just maneuver it so that the piggyback is higher than the main line, and that will allow that to run in. Okay? Great, so now after the antibiotic is over, we can come and we can remove the antibiotic. Just take off our piece of tape. Take the IV out. Get rid of this. Put this back up. And we'll just get this drop 1 1000, 2 1000, a little too fast. Drop 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, a little too slow. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, a little too fast. Okay? So they need a lifeline. That KVO line is a lifeline. Or if I don't want to leave them on IV fluid, what if she has CHF or congestive heart failure or kidney failure? You could just simply take, your other option is to turn this off completely. I hope we saved that blue cap. Yes, we did. Put that on here, open this up, and then make sure they get heparin. Okay? And that's that.
Jerry, in the real world, where are they keeping this blue